Let's say you walked into a Foot Locker and saw several college basketball and football superstars jerseys hanging on the most popular section in the store. They cost around the same price as the professional league players. Now, let's estimate how much of that total revenue would be distributed to the college players. 50%? 25%? The truth is, they take zero. Not even a penny goes to the athletes. Doesn't this sound unfair? Isn't this exploitation? Men's college basketball and football athletic programs generate billions of dollars every year. These billions of dollars get well distributed to schools, coaches, TV networks, video game and apparel companies, and most importantly, to the National Collegiate Athletic Association, so-called the NCAA. In the meantime, the player who actually produced all the profits get no monetary return. Today I'll be informing you about why the NCAA should give compensations to college athletes. In 1952, the NCAA issued the contract to broadcast college football games in television, and a few years later, the college basketball league known as March Madness began their first broadcast. The popularity of those two particular sports has skyrocketed over the previous several decades. According to Statista.com, the total revenue generated through the NCAA in 1980 was about $8 million. And as of 2017, it reached up to being $1 billion. We're talking billion dollars here. Coaches, college administrators, and other interested parties earn millions of dollars off of their players' work in college sports. Advocates who insist that they must pay college athletes think that it can stop corruption, promote healthy recruiting processes. It can bring about active money circulation so that it can be fairly distributed throughout the school. It can also resolve the players and their family members' monetary problems as well. This can make the league even more competitive in the long run. Opponents assert that it'll create conflicts between teammates due to discriminations over wages, or may make students leave education behind. But the most important issue they bring up is the controversy regarding the amateurism, the notion that student athletes are just students. Well, to me, this just sounds like an excuse from the president of the NCAA and other executives to avoid the complexity of the aftermath and to maintain their monetary profits. Under the NCAA rules, student athletes are only permitted to serve for 20 hours a week, where in reality, they serve well over 40 hours a week for their team. Student athletes in men's college basketball and football team devote their life to their team, just like a full-time job. I was once a professional basketball player myself, and injury isn't something that can be ignored. I had 5 months left from graduating middle school and moving on to high school that recruited me. On the day before the last tournament of the year, we had a practice game, and the high school coach who recruited me was there. Under the pressure, it's very likely for a person to make mistakes and unconsciously be strained. Therefore, that's when most injuries occur. Sure enough, my right middle finger was broken in half during the game. At that moment, the school I finally decided to go to was a school very well known for its middle and high school basketball team in South Korea. Sadly, after the high school coach heard that it'll take at least 7 to 8 months for the whole rehabilitation process, he nullified the contract. Now, For college student athletes, they are way more overwhelmed. According to Statista.com again, the 2017 round of 32 March Madness, which is the men's college basketball league, had an average of 5.6 million viewers per game. Yet there is no guarantee or even a sound insurance coverage for them. My point being, if these athletes are risking their youth and helping the NCAA generate enormous revenue, the NCAA should at least entitle them to compensation for injuries and help them avoid poverty they might face. If schools are spending $13 to $20 million on a scoreboard, there's enough money out there. It's time to spend at least a good portion of that money on college players who actually generate the revenue. Thank you.